Ginger Media has been on the go since the 12th of July 2022. Over that time, I built several channels with over 16,000 subscribers, worked my first local authority contract, and have several other things in the pipeline that will hopefully be coming to fruition this year. So why do I still feel like I'm not a real YouTuber? And there's this link into any content creator as a whole, because it proves that no matter where you are in the ladder, whether you're just starting out or by just looking at facts, you are an established content creator on YouTube, we still have that imposter syndrome. And it's constantly going to be there. And it's because there's a certain myth around content creation and what we should aspire to be as content creators. And I'm going to give you all a little example of this. Now, most of you know that I dabble in AI. And one of the things I wanted to do was to see what a generative AI thought a content creator in a podcast studio looked like. Using an image of myself with no background, I asked the AI to generate a podcast studio. Now, the results were very telling from this image. First of all, to me, it looks more like a radio station rather than a podcast studio that I have experience with, emphasized by the big on-air sign. It's got all the phone panels, speakers, the mic with one of those big handles, a laptop, and a mixer. This is the general setup of a professional podcast studio as taken from AI. But that isn't exactly what we all deal with as content creators, either when we're starting out or we're a couple of years down the track. Your journey might look something like this. I don't have a general fancy setup. It's just me at a desk. I've got my chair, got my desk, microphone, headset, laptop, and basic webcam that I started out with all those years ago. It's that old, the webcam isn't even HD. And I've also got a couple of lights. And I bought all this equipment when I first started out in my company 4 years ago after my one and so far only crowdfunding campaign, although that might change if I want to level up. The most expensive equipment that I have got is the microphone, the headphones, and the stand. But all this shows you one thing. The professional standard that people look for, it is true to an extent, but overall, it's actually a myth. The top creators use the fancy studio, the high-tech gear. And that's because they spent years on the grind and been able to work the system to get to the point where they want to get to. But for many people, we all have just basic setups, recording in our living room, bedroom, with the tools that we've got. It's why there's no one set way to be a content creator. As long as you've got a system that works for you and people tune in and they like what you have to say, you don't need the best of the best to start with. It's a goal for the future, not something to help you navigate the present. My recent experiences with imposter syndrome and my anxiety around not only being a content creator, but running a media company, they always come to the fore. When you see someone that's maybe got a better webcam than you, a bit more professional audio, or even just seeing that generic image of what a professional studio is meant to look like, it can send you spiraling because you don't think that you're ever going to get there. But we all have stumbles on the way. And one thing that I want you to remember, as well as something I need to remind myself, the moment that you hit record and upload your first video, you are a content creator. Whether you're doing it full-time, part-time, the second that first video goes up and is live on your channel, you're a content creator. Those are just my struggles. Let me know in the comments if you've felt any of these struggles before and what you'd like to see me cover in future videos. Thanks for watching and take care.